And I'm back for day 5 on Saijakh, wherein I will continue rambling ad nauseum about socioeconomics. But I will begin first by discussing... Oh, I have quite a lot of this stuff, don't I? Of course I'd be stuck out here in the middle of the night, though. You know, I haven't seen these hordes quite as much as I used to. Probably because so many other things are spawning instead. Look at that. So, I hope you followed. I mean, yesterday's discussion was hit or miss, but the general idea is that we were using a high top marginal tax bracket to sort of get the rich, who are the problem, to behave in a way that is not problematic. Because we're not trying to get rid of the rich. We're not trying to say if you work hard, we're going to take all your money. That's not the point. The problem is, if you're making $3.5 million a year, why do you need any more? What could you possibly have to spend all that on? You know what I mean? God, how about phone? I know that's sort of a bad argument, but dang it. But what choice do I have? It's also true. Crap. I'm gonna have to wait to make more. Meanwhile, I don't really have anything down here yet. This stairwell hasn't actually arrived. Oh, but I can't make it into anything. Oh man, here we go. So basically, they're sociopaths, which is something I say. And I have to define what sociopath is for this argument to make sense. I'll begin by saying, looking after your self-interest, looking after what your needs in life, is perfectly normal. It is something you kind of have to do, all right? But if you do it without taking a moment, without regard, without caring, without knowing how it affects others, then you're being selfish. If you're not making an effort to balance your needs against the needs of others and the needs of the resources that others and you rely on and stuff like that, then you're being selfish. You're just doing whatever you want for yourself. Who gives a crap about anybody else? Selfish. Okay? The next step beyond that is sociopath. And that's where you're doing things to help yourself, even though you have point blank evidence, that what you're doing is hurting others. When you do that, you've become a sociopath. You are doing it despite the fact that you are hurting people. And when it comes to the ultra rich these days, they're doing this in spite of the fact that they know, because in order to do what they're doing, they have to have a lot of evidence, a lot of data, a lot of research and stuff to be able to make these businesses as exploitative as they are. They're hurting millions upon millions upon millions of people. That is it's still the word sociopath still applies, but it's mass sociopathy. The next step beyond that is psychopath, which is where you're hurting people and you enjoy doing it. So when I say these people are sociopaths, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, because as far as I know, some of them probably do enjoy the fact that they are destroying lives right and left. Oh man, I went long last night, I guess. Morning is already upon us, but I can't even leave my stupid hovel. Let me out of here. Is that a flying horse? What are those things on its sides? I'm not sure I want flying horses. I've never been big into things that give creatures unearthly extra limbs. A flying horse would have to have bending wings that also have hoofs at the midpoint so it can walk on them, not pair on the back, making essentially an insect. Here we go. Morning is upon us. Oh, I can make things, I forgot. Blink. So, by definition then, these corporations, these rich people are sociopaths, and they pretty much have been all along. And if you go back to feudal times, we have lords and they rule over slaves and serfs. I would call them sociopaths too, except it might actually come to the point where they are so far removed from reality that they don't even realize the people they're hurting are people. And that's an argument you might actually have to possibly acknowledge, is that they don't even know. But I don't want to. It's hard for me to imagine that they couldn't know that the people they're hurting aren't people. But certainly there was a point where you look at African American, Africans in general, as animals. They've had that period. So maybe if you look at a serf, a peasant, as not quite human, then you can do whatever you want to them, and you don't have to feel bad about yourself, right? So it could be that. Doesn't make it right, but I'm just saying, trying to extrapolate how these people think. Regardless, today's corporate 1%, super elite, whatevers, I don't think can be given that particular benefit of the doubt. So, see, I think I've lost my train of thought. And you're like, yahoo! He's lost his train of thought. Woohoo, we're saved. I know. But I care about these things. I don't even want to. I swear, I don't want to care about this. I, growing up, figured I'd be tooling around, prospecting on the surface of Mars, flying in spaceships, stuff like that. And I'm actually really kind of angry with the world that that instead of doing things like that, I have to come along and try to clean up the mess made by people who came before me. That's not, it's like I said, politics is a chore, and it's not fun. And I would like to be doing something fun, and it's probably one of the reasons why I play so many freaking games. This is like an escape route, really, and it's not doing me all that much good. But it's a thing worth caring about, and I would argue that each one of you should probably be caring about it too. I don't want to put words in your mouths or force you to do things, but we would all be better off if we all put more effort into this. Anyways, getting into the socioeconomics part of the sociopath thing, the reason we had a period that was installed after the last time the effective 1% destroyed the country during the great prior to and creating the Great Depression. We put in guidelines, referee things in the form of the top marginal tax bracket, which basically used their sociopathy against them. Because the thing is, you can't make them not sociopaths. This is probably, in all reality, this is probably a brain hormone chemical problem that you'd have to have like brain surgery to cure. And I don't want to start lobotomizing people for being sociopaths. It'd be, especially when we have a mechanism already available to us that can deal with this problem. And that, we had it for 40 or 50 years. It worked very well. We had almost no scandals at all, and very few collapses. Strong economy, strong middle class. A person with people were embarrassed if they had to buy a house using a mortgage because the economy was that good. They could actually afford houses, and houses weren't ridiculously overpriced. These days people are considering themselves lucky to get a mortgage. Because in the construct or the narrative that money is blood, which is one of my favorite ones. See, if I do that, they can get in. If money is blood, in the body. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Whoa! Well, I don't know what to make of that. Oh, they're fighting. Whoa. Not sticking around for that. Okay. It's a good thing they can't... Oh, God. This place is too dangerous for me. Holy cow. Oh, I was going to make a tool, but if I'm going to make a tool, I have to get more wood. Let's hope I'm not going to be immediately attacked like last time. Hey, free brains. Very good. Oh, yeah. Well, basically, in the body, blood must flow, okay? If it has to move around, it has to be essentially spent. It gets used here, it gets used there. What are you? What is this thing? And what did it draw? Holy cow, was that some sort of mechanical cyborg cow? Wow, okay. Anyways. What? God, I have a lot to learn about this world, don't I? Okay. Jeez. So yeah, spending money is an economy. If you just sit on money, you just hoard it as it's being hoarded right now by giant corporations and their 1% owners. It is useless. It has no. Holy crap! What is going on here? Is that thing dangerous too? Tainted tendril. Okay, yeah, we'll leave that. Whew, that's a lot to learn. I could, however, use... What was that? Oh, I got thrown off. Okay. Another cyborg creature up there, I think. Okay. Yeah, sorry, this is very distracting. Oh, man. I've been here for like days now. How pathetic is that? The creatures are really, really something, though. The music is so appropriate. This should be playing in the middle of battle. Dangity dang dangity ring. I'm not sure what that accomplishes. Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh, crap. More essence. Please don't spawn downstairs. I don't like it when you spawn downstairs. Running out of space. I heard that. Jeez, they're all over the place. Oh! I bet they have something to do with that stuff over there. That's actually not going to work. Put it here. After all, actually, I don't trust that because the little guys could probably sneak in underneath. Oh, I'm doing such a bad job of describing this. I'm so sorry. It's just, you know, things. Okay. Oh, I had another one. What am I worrying about? Oh well, we'll hold on to it. But I need more light sources, don't I? Let's deal with that. But yeah, you know, if money is the flow through the economy, it has to move. It cannot stay in one place for very long, otherwise it ceases to function as needed. And I still feel like the ceiling's coming in too low somewhere over here. It doesn't appear to be. And the problem is, the rich have a way of gaming the system repeatedly. They've done it several times. You'd think we'd have learned our lesson by now. To net themselves the majority of all wealth. And when they do that, it becomes a clot. It becomes stuck in the economy. It no longer serves its purpose. The economy starts to fold. People start panicking and sometimes even dying. We've had that before over the sudden general lack of economy. And so, yeah, I mean, effectively, the rich are blood clots. They are economic heart attacks or aneurysms in the brain, depending on how you want to define it. And so, of course, you want to prevent that. And you don't prevent that by making people not rich, because ultimately we all want to be wealthy. We should probably redefine what that word means a little bit. So wealth is a more social concept. And I realize you can be like, oh, that's so socialist. But, I mean, like the wealth of a nation, as demonstrated by its grand buildings and its amazing monuments and its grand parks and the sustainability, the fact that it can without additional resources go on for centuries. That's a form of wealth that is shared by everyone who lives with and is takes part in that nation. And that really ought to be more what we're concerned about, because it benefits everyone. It's not just me, 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 me. It's we, all the way home. So, it's not the easiest thing to talk about, especially when I'm being so often distracted by weird creatures I've never seen before. And the top marginal tax bracket, I realize I've said that so many times now. Sorry. Basically, like I said, it uses their own sociopathy against them in ways that are good for everyone else. So, if you have to pay 90% of your income beyond $3.5 million a year in taxes, you're obviously not going to want to do it because you're a sociopath. You don't see other people as necessary. You recognize that taking care of them is a good thing, or not even taking care of them, just operating in a system where they can take care of themselves. Why would you need that when I can just take all the wealth for myself, right? So if they can't take all the wealth, if the last thing they want is for the government to get their hands on their precious money that they used other people's blood and sweat to make, then you're going to dodge that tax bracket, because we're all quite familiar with the concept of these people dodging taxes with their offshore tax havens. Where's the way out? Crap. Oh my gosh. I'm doing so wonderfully, aren't I? I really need to get stronger gear so I can stop panicking at every little thing. I realize I could still die with full diamond everything, but I can at least face it more. Let's see. Still, I'm getting some supplies. Oh, don't do that. I guess this will be a new little sub base then. Oh, I even have enough to make a thing. Very good. So, and then this is where it all goes. And I don't know what time it is. Crap. Yeah, come on. Oh, shit. Really? Why can't I hit you? Frig. She's just going to stare at me for the rest of the time. Unless I melt some supplies. Okay, let me do that then. Whoops, what am I doing? Okay. One should do. You suck. Just saying. You suck. Oi. Cook. So, if they want to dodge that tax bracket, this occurred during a time when there also were essentially no offshore tax havens. There probably were one or two, but they weren't as ubiquitous and as powerful as they are today. So that's another thing we need to address, is getting rid of access to those at the same time that we reinstitute high top tax rates. So if they have nowhere to put that money, if they can't take it for themselves, if that first $3.5 million a year is not enough to live on, then well, I don't ignore that last part. They have only a few avenues to do. They can either put that money back in their businesses, or they can donate it, like causes, to philanthropy, donations, contributions to the economy. Both of these things improve the economy because it's basically forced spending by people who actually have taken the money. That you're forcing them to spend that money rather than hoard it. And that is what the economy needs, is spending. I know people are scared of the word spending, but that's stupid. Let's give me one of these. Yeah, whatever that is. And one of these. I don't have enough for much else. Let's give me some gold. Let me pause for a minute because I don't know what time it is. Now, if they put it into their business, then what they're effectively doing is creating extra income. Well, no, I mean, the only way to do that is if they put it in their business, there are several avenues it could take. It can either become water, really? You're a whole little pond, are you? Why am I being pushed back? That was weird. Oh, I can't catch a break here. There we go. Is there anything else to do with this? I suppose I should try this guy. I just can't reach you today. Why can't I reach you? Can I reach you through here? Yeah. Sorry to be cheaty, it's just you're way too hard for me right now. Excellent. That's the way up? That's why I couldn't find it. You're not as hard as you look. Okay. Whew. Still, we've reached a bottom for now, huh? Yes? Very good. Let's head up. Let's see what we're dealing with. So if they leave it, if they leave it in their businesses, it has a few avenues. One of which is better pay for their employees. Because if a business starts sitting on top of money, that should also be taxed. So the avenue then is to pay their employees better. And now if their employees get paid better, their employees can afford more stuff, which means they can go out and buy from other businesses or from even their own business or service, which means more income for other businesses, which means their CEOs start having to dodge their top marginal tax brackets and start having to pay taxes on that stuff, which means they have to start investing in their employees, which means their employees have to start getting paid more, who can then afford more stuff, which means more business and more demand for goods and services. And when demand goes up, it's already getting the morning, I think. All right, so I got to cut it off. But when demand goes up and a business has to do more, the best way to deal with it is to hire more people. So all of a sudden, not only do you have more people getting paid more, but you have more people getting paid more, which means more people buying stuff, which means more demand, which means more people have to work, which means more people get paid, which means more people get paid more. And it's this rippling effect that improves the economy. You can have when you're talking economies, you can have a downward spiral or an upward spiral. It's your choice. But the mechanism that flip, the switch that you flip to decide which way you're going, is how you deal with the rich, the people who are exploiting everyone else for their own personal gain, the sociopaths. If you control them, if you use their own sociopathy against them, you can improve the economy. But if you allow them to do whatever the heck they want, they will rob us all blind, as they have several times before, and leave us to die, as they have done several times before. So that's roughly it. It was not very well described. If I manage to figure out a better way to describe it, I might come back and talk about it again. But starting next week, I'm going to give you something, aside from being stuck in this hovel. I'm going to talk about more positive things, okay? I mean, none of these topics are supposed to be negative, but they're problems that we have to deal with right now, and the best way to deal with them first is to start talking about it. So, I hope you listen. And if you disagree with me, just tell me how. Don't say, I'm stupid, or whatever like that. Just say, oh, I think this, and I think that, and I because of this, and because of that, and here's why, and stuff. Have a constructive debate, right? So it's perfectly okay to disagree with me as long as you can back it up. All right, great. Have a good day and a good weekend.